The following feature presentation is part of the All for Sci-Fi Podcast Network.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you.
No, I am your father. I'll be back.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Whoa! Don't say a trap word. It's a trap. Oh yeah.
The needs of the many.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Or the one.
Or the one.
Yes. The
No.
one. Do.
Or do not.
Do not. There is no trap. Infinity and beyond. Live long and prosper.
Get away from
Get away from you what? Don't say that bad word.
Wait a minute, Doc.
Doc.
Are you telling me you built a time machine?
A DeLorean?
Yes, I did.
Have fun storming the castle. Goodbye. Hello. My friend. Prepare to die. Stop saying that.
I see dead
people.
I am Groot.
You said that.
Why so serious?
Why are you so serious, Captain Rickster?
Stop! I volunteer!
Do you?
I volunteer as tribute!
What I do is not up to you.
What I do is not Chewie.
We're home.
I'm one with the Force.
One with the Force.
I'm one with the Force. And the Force is with me.
I'm one with the Force.
Yes, it is. And the Force is with you. And we are here for the All for Sci-Fi Weekly Webcast. We are on later, right, Captain Rickster? But I'm your host, Eric Walker. And next to me is
Captain Rickster or Trickster or whoever.
Rickster or whatever you want to call him today. Speaking of that, speaking of Rogue One, since you just heard the Asian gentleman, Donnie Yen, or I think his name is.
Yep.
But we're going to today, our official unboxing today is of Saul Guerrera from Rogue One. Look at that. So we're going to unbox Saul Guerrera today and do a review of this. He's from the Black Series. It's number 10, Rogue One, a Star Wars story. And we're going to do this unboxing today and give it a review. But more importantly, we started late because of a lot of things we had going on, things we're getting prepared for, some exciting stuff, and hopefully we'll be able to make some announcements soon. But we got some really great stuff to talk about today, right, Captain Rickster?
You got that right.
We got the Mandalorian episode 23, Spies. No, 21. Well, I don't remember what it was, 23 or something like that. Spies.
Yeah, Spies.
And Star Trek Picard Vox. Episode 9. There's only one more episode left. On each. So we're going to, and then what else? What do we got coming up down the pipeline, though? What's coming out in May?
Oh, we got Guardian of the Galaxy 3 coming out.
Yes! Looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy. Can't wait to see that. Excited. But I can't tell you that this guy got upset about the bad baby. Bad baby, no squeezy. Whoa, hey! No squeezy. He didn't like that, but he was great. Babu Freak was great in this week's episode. Any other sci-fi news that you could think of, Captain Rickster?
None right at the moment.
If anybody sees any problem with our audio or anything like that, please let us know in the chat.
Yes, please.
We coming on later, so I don't expect a lot of people. Maybe we're past your bedtime now.
In some places.
In some places, for sure. Well, I can't think of anything else. There's not a lot going on
No,
recently.
not recently.
On for us here in America, we have tax day on Tuesday, which we're
Yeah.
not all looking forward to.
Nope.
Yeah, so that's we got to get that stuff going.
Mhm.
Interesting week at work. We had a very good week. We got a bunch of sales, but
Yeah.
got a bunch of people trying to take advantage of you as always, which
That's
is
true.
kind of ridiculous.
Yep.
It's like, hello,
Mhm.
help me. Yeah. Oh, I did hear about that, Bob. Bob's here. Hey,
Hey,
Bob.
Bob.
Bob said the last 2 episodes of Picard are supposed to be also in IMAX theaters if you want to go see them.
Oh, really?
I heard that
Yeah.
too. We have to look out for that.
Yes.
I
we
would love
will.
to go see it in a theater. It's been a while since I've seen Star Trek in a theater, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
No kidding.
That would be fun. But let's go. What do you want to do first, and then we'll do the unboxing in
We'll do
between.
Picard first.
Okay, let's talk about Vox, the Star Trek Picard. This last week's episode, and I know we're talking about Star Trek Picard, but
Right.
this last week's episode of The Mandalorian was one of the best in all 3 seasons. And then I saw Star Trek Picard,
Yeah, that's true.
and when I thought it couldn't get any better,
It did.
it did. I am just I don't know how it was so much emotion, especially when they. Well, let's give the official rating before we get too in deep and talk about this. At all for sci-fi, as you know, we have an official rating of 0 to 5 stars. 5 stars is the best. If it's 3 stars or less, we don't recommend you watching it. This is on the Paramount Plus network, Star Trek, and other areas it might be on a different channel, like I don't know, in different countries. But this week's episode of Star Trek Picard Vox, guys, it's obvious. We've been talking about it just now. Gets a 5-star rating.
Oh, yes.
100%. What do you give it, Captain
I
Rickster?
give it a 5+. If I give 5 more,
If you could give it more than 5, you could.
you got that right.
Yeah.
This was it blew me out of the water this time.
I'm tempted to Captain Rickster. I haven't talked about this yet offline, but I'm tempted to change our rating system to 10 stars.
Yeah.
To have more, that way we could have more of a range instead of always giving something 4 stars because we like it and we don't want to give it 3 stars because then no one will watch it.
Right.
If we go to 1 through 10 stars, it gives it more of a range, and we could say if it's 5 stars or less, don't watch it. So, but it gives it more of a range. What do you think about that, Captain? I haven't discussed that with you.
That sounds like a good
And
idea. Yeah.
maybe instead of
let's
0
talk
to
about
5.
this. Let's talk about this afterwards.
Yeah, and I want to know what everybody thinks about it too. So everybody, let us know. Do you think 0 to 5 stars is the best way to go, or should we go 1 through 10? Let us know in the comments below. But let's get started. Obviously, Vox is the name of the episode, and we found out that Jack Crusher's Borg name is Vox.
Right.
And boy, did this really have a twist in it, didn't it?
Oh, no kidding.
He was so afraid of this evil thing about him and whatever it is, or this evil demon that Deanna Troi mentioned. Counselor Troi said there's something very old in him, and it turned out to be the Borg.
Yeah, it was.
They planted a seed in him, and they made it look like that seed was some sort of something syndrome, or what do they call it, aromatic syndrome. And Picard never had it.
No,
It was a seed that they masked to look like that, so they could plant this. So if he ever did something he shouldn't be doing, which he did with Beverly Crusher,
That's right.
apparently, that's how it happened. Jack was that's not how that happened. That's how the seed got planted. But there's still hope. We'll see what happens. Bob says that the locations for Picard series being in IMAX are in Los Angeles, New York, Phoenix, San Francisco, Seattle, Orlando, Washington, Atlanta, and Dallas. And he says a lot of them are sold out. I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either. Yeah.
That's a lot of cities, though.
Yeah.
So that's great that they had. I thought maybe they were only going to do it in some of the major cities, but then adding Phoenix,
Well, they still major
San
cities.
Francisco, Seattle. I'm not saying they're not major cities, but when people think of the major cities, they think of Los Angeles, New York, maybe maybe Miami, maybe
Dallas.
maybe a big city in Texas. They don't think of all the Chicago. Chicago's a big city. They will think of Chicago.
Denver. That's another big city.
Denver's not on there.
I know.
I wouldn't think of that as a big city. But the other ones like Seattle is surprising. Orlando's surprising. Phoenix is definitely surprising.
Yeah, that's definitely
That's not a
surprising,
very
yes.
big city. That's kind of like Seattle.
Mhm.
Okay. Anyway, happy to hear about it. And we should look,
Yes.
Captain Rick, see if we get tickets.
Yeah,
Let's
see if
look
we can-
online.
See if we can find it. Yeah.
What else? Okay, so this is what happens at 5 stars. You guys have heard that. So what happened in this episode is Deanna Troy was already trying to put him through this counseling session. She got him she got him to agree to let her open the door. He didn't
Mhm.
do it. But then
Right.
she saw what was behind the door, and it scared the living crap out of her.
That's right.
So she ended up breaking the their connection, and she went running into Dr. Crusher and Picard and said, told them what was going on, basically.
Mhm.
And but there's ramifications for that because Picard and Borg, and now there's Borg. So unfortunately, he had to try to put his son in some sort of custody, and that upset him.
Yep.
So that ended up getting him to, because he could be now a weapon for the Borg. He basically, and he could control people's minds. He
Mhm.
took off. He controlled their minds so he could get out of there, and took a shuttle and left.
Yep.
And then there's just the story going everywhere, and he ends up getting there and ends up becoming a part of the Borg, and they say welcome home. And at first he's upset, and then they took him over, and now he was able to go into the fleet and take over everybody. And they did, and it's like it, and there's some jokes too. There's some funny parts where they only selected the younger generation. Like
That's true. They
we don't
did.
want the old people.
Nope, they don't.
Really made us feel great, didn't they, Bob?
Yes,
They
they
made us
did.
feel real great. Like they wouldn't have accepted us, but Captain Rickster and me, they only accept the young guys.
That's true.
And so Starfleet Day was happening too, and that happened during the midst of that. And they basically assimilated the entire Federation
They did.
in one swoop. They got everybody.
Yep.
So the entire Federation is under control of the Borg now. What are they going to do? Geordi comes up with a great idea. There's one ship, and this is the best part of the whole
Whole thing.
episode.
Yep.
There's one ship that's so analog, it's not connected. See, now because we're so into the future, all these ships are connected to each other, like the Borg is. And so he goes to the old shipyard, graveyard or museum, not graveyard, museum. And he shows him the ship, and it's Enterprise D.
Yep.
Their ship.
Their old
He's
ship.
putting together their old ship, so we got to see them go on their ship. It looks really good. It looks the same.
Yeah,
And then even Worf said a joke. I like the Enterprise E's weapon systems better. And it's like,
that was true. Yeah.
and then he was responsible for that ship Enterprise E getting destroyed. So it's like he also they gave him a jab too. So there's just the banter back and forth. It's funny, and I like the new Data. The new Data has a little bit of emotions. Still's Data, but has a little more emotion. So that's good. Hey, guys, it's just a great episode on so many different levels.
Oh yes.
So go watch it. Star Trek Picard, episode 9, season 3. This is the last season of Picard, and then we have one more next week. So
That's it.
that's all we got.
It's gotta unplug a lot. Ow! It's gotta unplug a lot of the holes too that they're making up on this one too. So 9's supposed to take care of everything.
What was your favorite part of this episode? I didn't ask you.
Well, actually, I had two favorite parts in this one. One, I liked it when the crew turned into the Borgs.
Right.
I thought that was really strange, but it was funny. Or actually really good. And then when I saw them, when they all came together, and the whole crew was there, that was a special moment right there.
Yeah, my favorite moment was when they were all on the all on the deck of the Enterprise D again, and it was very emotional. I even wanted. I almost shed a tear. It was, the music was great, and it was such a perfect episode. I wish I was watching it in the movies. So I'm glad that they're going to put the last 2 episodes in movie theaters, because we need to go see it if it's maybe it's coming out next week when the other one premieres. So we need to check. Because I want to go see it in the movie theaters.
Oh, I'd love to. Yes.
And so far, that Terry Matias or whatever, I want to make sure I say his last name correctly. I'm going to look it up later, but his name is Terry. He's the guy that's responsible for making this season happen,
Yeah,
Captain
right,
Richter,
yeah.
and he's a big Trek fan, and it's obvious.
Oh, you can tell he is. Yeah.
And he's a showrunner too, and he directed this last episode. I think it's the only I don't know if he directs the finale either.
We'll see.
But it was one of the most perfect episodes of any Trek, not just Star Trek, but any Trek I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Go watch this episode of Picard Vox, episode 9.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and do this unboxing. Here we go. It's Saul Guerrera, and it's from the Black Series. It's a 6-inch, and this is the back. Always have this. These always have very good artwork. And on the back it says Saul. It says Saul Guerrera. Guerrera is bunkered on the ancient world of Jeddah, coordinated a prolonged insurgency against the imperial occupation. His ailing health does a little wither to his resolve to fight. And of course, he's sick.
Oh, yeah.
Captain Richter, you're looking better this week. I hope you keep it up.
I'm trying to.
Here we go. That's what it looks like when you open it up. It's really, the skull really nice. Definitely looks like one of my favorite actors, Forrest Whitaker.
Yep.
Speaking of that, Saul Guerrera, his cartoon younger self, was in the last episode of The Bad Batch.
Yep.
I wonder if I just broke it. Did I break it, or did it just maybe I? No, I don't think I did. I think it does come off, which is good.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at this. It looks like him, but also just looks a little different. Doesn't look exactly, but it's definitely well made. He kind of looks like a Mandalorian, huh?
Almost.
Really good articulation there. Always the leg joints. This is pretty good articulation on the leg joints. This is he doesn't have he lost his foot somewhere in battle. So he has a prosthetic foot. The way to show it. See, it's different than his other foot. That's the prosthetic one, and that is. Are they both that way? No, this no, just the one. This other one's. He looks like he's wearing flip flops in this other one. Yeah. Yeah, this other one looks like he's wearing flip flops. Interesting look. Prosthetic one that looks like flip flops. I don't know if I could get them close together to show you the difference. The prosthetic one, and then the other one just looks like sandals. Got to do it opposite. Anyway. He's got this interesting breathing apparatus, probably because of his health that they're talking about. And he's got 2 weapons. And let me give him to Captain Richter so he could look at it while I take these out. As you know, at All for Sci-Fi, we have a rating system just like we do on the movies and streaming shows. It's 0 to 5 stars. 5 stars is the best, of course. If it's 3 stars or less, we don't recommend purchasing the toy. I think we did give a toy one toy one time, like 3, but we just like the movies. We don't do that often. We've given some movies 3. We have, even though we're pretty positive guys.
Yeah, it's true.
There's been a few.
Only 2 that I can remember.
Yeah, they were sci-fi stuff. I think one of them was that movie Passengers. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
With a lady from Hunger Games.
Another one called Lucy.
I think so. I don't know. I have to go back and look. But
that's way back in the archives.
Yeah, looks like some sort of staff.
It's just walking stick.
Walking stick. And then he's got a little blaster here. Not much of one. Not much of one. Okay. Okay. So as I mentioned, let Captain Rex look. As I said, we have a rating system of 0 to 5 stars. I like it. I like that it's has a lot of. It's kind of neat looking. So I'll grade that pretty high. And in the articulation is great. It doesn't. I wish it kind of had one more accessory, but at least it has 2 accessories: his walking stick and his blaster. Let's go ahead and give this 4.5 stars. What do you get, Captain Rickster?
I'll do the same.
Oh,
Forget it.
what'd you give it? What'd you give it? You agreed with me?
I forgot.
4.5 stars. Boom, boom. Violence on today's show. No, just joking. All right, there you go. That's Saul Guerrero from the Black Series. As promised, we're going to give you an unboxing every week for the rest of the year, hopefully. I'm starting to run out of stuff over here, but we'll have to buy some. Yay, man. But I'm going to have to buy some more stuff. I haven't bought stuff in a long time. No, we got to keep it going. We got to have it every week. We got to unbox at least 50 toys a year, right? Otherwise, it's not fun. You guys don't want to come back because you want a new toy every week that we unbox, right? But let's talk about the Mandalorian. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Mandalorian Spies. After last week's episode, this one really... In last week's episode, some people didn't like it, and I liked it, but I had issues with some of the acting.
True, very true.
From one of the celebrities that was in it. And I didn't have a problem. It was a singer.
Right.
It was someone who's not an actor. It wasn't Christopher Lloyd, and it wasn't Jack Black. It was a singer that I had a problem with. And I like her look. She's cute. And she's got a great look. That's not the problem. The problem was with the acting.
Yeah, she overacted.
If she gets some acting lessons and doesn't, like Captain Rick said, overacting, I think that Lizzo. Oh, I just said her name, Lizzo. I was trying to not say that, but Lizzo, I love you. You know, you're cute and your acting's good. Your acting's not good. I'm sorry.
Right.
Your singing is
Great.
spectacular, and your rapping and your songs are great, and your message is great, and you got it going on, girl. But let's get some acting classes, and then you could do better, and it's okay. You could grow as a person by studying some acting. It'd be good for you. Hopefully, you see this somehow. Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, unfortunately. You never know. Don't ever say never, Captain Rickster.
That is true.
But aside from that, it was passable.
Right.
Okay, but let's get into this week's episode. This week's episode is called Spies, and let's give the rating right away. It gets it's no brainer. It's the best episode. We said one of the best episodes of the entire series.
Yep.
Definitely probably the best episode this year.
So far, yeah.
So we'll see
week.
what the finale holds. But Spies gets an official All for Sci-Fi rating of 5 stars. What do you give it, Captain Rickster?
Like I said, I give it a 5 plus. I will do that. Plus. It is a 5. It's above a 5 actually.
Yeah, it's great. It's just awesome on so many different levels. I mean, let's discuss it. What was your favorite part? You're in it. You have a favorite scene, favorite shot, favorite moment?
The saddest one was at the end with a Death Watch Mandalorian was killed, of course.
Yes.
And also another sad part was
by the Primorian Guardian. Yeah.
But the other sad part was when Mandalorian got captured. I didn't like that too much.
Din Djarin got captured, yeah.
But it was surprising to see Carl Weathers back there. I thought they killed him, but I guess they didn't.
Why do you think that?
I don't know.
I never thought that.
Well, then she said, "Oh, I should have killed you when I had the chance." Now I remember they didn't.
Well, I think when you say Carl Weathers, you're talking about somebody else, because Carl Weathers is Grief Karga, High Magistrate Grief Karga. So I think you're thinking about Moff Gideon.
Oh, Moff Gideon,
who's played by Giancarlo Esposito.
That's him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him. Not not Carl Weathers.
And he wasn't killed. He was supposed to go on trial, and then they said he went on trial, and then he went missing.
Right.
He somehow got some other people to break him out. But we're starting to get more of the story and what's going on with the Empire still very much there. They're in the shadows. We learned a lot from him as well. It started off, the episode starts off on Coruscant, and what we knew all along was, you know, the person who was his little hench lady, played by Katie O'Brien, that I forgot the name of that character, but she goes into an alley and a probe droid comes out and sees it's her, and then she's able to contact Moff Gideon on a different planet, and he says report in, and she's this whole time's been there reporting everything that's going on to him, so he knows what's going on. And she tells him that the pirates that they sent to attack Navarro were stopped by the Mandalorians, and he says, who said Bo-Katan and Din Djarin stopped them. And he goes, how did that happen? Those two factions of Mandalorians hate each other. How'd they come together and stop the pirates? And so he knows he's got to take it on by himself. And then we later find out that they're really there on Mandalore. Yeah. Underneath there, they've been hiding there the entire time. And one of the things I didn't notice the first time I was watching it was when he was asking for his reinforcements, the guy said, you're going to get your reinforcements. You're going to get 3 Premorian Guard, the bombers, and all this stuff. But later you forget about it. So when they popped up and that music came up, you know, whatever at the end. And it was very shocking to see the Premorian Guard, because those are only usually used to protect people like Snoke or the Emperor Palpatine. So that's what happened with that. So anyway, so after that happened, I mean, my favorite moment probably was the Premorian Guard, but seeing them in action was great. But my other favorite moment was just, you know, my saddest moment was when he died as well. So So anyway, so that's it. That's all I got to say about that. That's why we gave it 5 stars. I really enjoying it. We're gonna have a very brief show this week, guys, because we came on late. But as we say it all for sci-fi, go out and do 1 act of kindness a week. It makes the world a better place. The Force will be with us always. Live long and prosper. You got some lasting words, Captain Rickster?
Yes,
wrap it up quick.
Have a great rest of your weekend. Hope to see you back next week. Enjoy your life.
Well, yeah, guys, and we'll see you then. Let's play our song, our All for Sci-Fi song again, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you guys next week. We'll have a lot more to talk about. All right, so take care, everybody.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
If you only knew the power of the dark side, Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough.